Starting and running a business is no mean feat, I'm not going to lie. Whilst it's the most amazing adventure you will ever go on, it is fueled by challenges along the way. One of the biggest challenges can be when your family and friends don't support your dream and what you want to do with your life. Whether they're vocal and totally against it or just chipping away on the sidelines, it can be a real downer when they won't actually give you their support. In this video today, we're going to look at how you can try to get them on side and supporting you in your business. Hi there, I'm Sonia, founder of the Balloon Biz Academy. Having run my own balloons and venue decor business for the last 8 years full time, I now help other balloon business professionals just like you grow a profitable business. After all, being a balloon business owner shouldn't be about getting through the month and just about paying the bills. It should be about living the life you dream of. Getting the support of your family is something that comes up a lot in the Facebook groups. So often I hear people saying that their significant others don't get what they do or think that they're wasting their time. Or perhaps they say that they should get a proper job. Or sometimes it's much more subtle than that. It might be a comment that has hit a nerve or just not helping them with juggling real life so that they can devote some time to their business. Whatever it is, it can really affect business owners' mindset. The emotions that run alongside this can reduce productivity, it can cause stress, and you can get very easily into a downward spiral. Sometimes it can make them feel like they want to give up totally. Without a doubt, if you find yourself in this situation, it's important that you try and address it and look for ways to get family and friends on side. So first of all, let's look at why might family and friends not be receptive to you building a business. First up, it's good to remember that the majority of the population are not like you. They are often in full-time employment, and what they perceive to be financial security of going to work every day and getting paid every month is what you do until you retire. Running your own business is risky, or at least it might seem highly risky to them. Having to go out, get customers to generate an income, what do you do if you're sick, who will pay the bills if it's a quiet month? This might freak them out. Some of them might quite like the idea of being self-employed. They may have toyed with it themselves, but they're just not brave enough to do it. Others may find it hard to accept your role within the family is changing. And occasionally significant others may find the extra time you're spending on your business means they get less quality time with you. There are a whole host of reasons as to why you may not feel your family and friends are as supportive as they should be. But ultimately, you can only work out what the problems might be by putting yourself in their shoes. The key thing to remember is that whatever their thoughts on your being self-employed, for the majority of you, the feedback from your family will absolutely come from a place of love. They don't want to be mean or squash your dreams. They want to protect you and give you the advice as to what they believe will be best for you and your family as a whole. They don't want to see you struggle and suffer or you to feel you have to keep going just to prove a point. You may hear mumbling about, is it really worth it? All this hard work, what have you got to show for it? They may even dare to mention that word, the proper job conversation that none of us ever really want to hear because it could spell the disaster for the life we dream of. Your immediate reaction might be that they don't support you. But what you really need to do is put yourself in their shoes for a moment. Because only by doing this can you work out a way of moving forward. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of our loved ones. I have a long-suffering partner, and mostly she's been amazingly supportive to me in running my business. When we first met, I had a good, highly paid corporate job in medical sales and marketing, a gorgeous company car, and I wore a suit every day. And whilst I was away from home a lot, we had a wonderful lifestyle. After a period of illness, I decided I didn't want to do it anymore, and I was going to work from home and I was going to build a business. I had a bit of savings, but essentially I was pulling the rug out from under our feet with 4 children to support at the time, and only me then bringing in a wage. I was fired up and certain I could do this, and whilst there was a conversation about me running a business, I'm sure it must have been very, very difficult for her at the time to accept that her lifestyle could potentially change, and not necessarily for the better. I'm sure it must have caused some worry for her. After all, bills need paying and 4 kids is not cheap. Then the business is starting to grow. I filled my home with all sorts of balloon paraphernalia, not to mention the balloons. Who knew balloons could be that big when they were inflated? We went to bed surrounded by balloons most nights, and the weekends, oh my gosh, they were everywhere. I filled every space. You couldn't move for balloons, and next my weekends became consumed with spending every hour working. After all, people celebrate at weekends, and 80% of my wage came from the weekends, so I needed to fit it in a whole week's worth of bills into a weekend. I took on more and more work to make sure I had a week's money from 3 days. I often started working at 5 a.m. and often through to midnight, and she had to pick up the slack with the children. People were knocking on the door at all hours collecting, the dog wouldn't stop barking, and even meal times were juggling act as to who was coming at what time. Oh my gosh, when I step into her shoes, I do wonder why she is still with me now. The reality of running a business from home wasn't quite what I thought it would be. In my mind, I pictured domestic bliss, being a mum, running a business on the side, spending more time at home. And the reality is I built a bit of a monster the family then had to fit in around. But this isn't the actual reason why sometimes I felt she wasn't as supportive as I would like. The reality is it was my behaviour that resulted in the words I didn't necessarily want to hear. You see, when times are hard, all of us have a tendency to moan. Yep. It's a way of letting out the stress, and so often a reaction to overwhelm. I'm sure we've all done it. The moans and the grumbles of running your own business. I certainly did. How hard it all was, how I didn't have enough hours in the day, how everyone was in my way when I needed to get it out because I was running late, how I wasn't earning enough just yet, how the business had set up down the road for me offering ridiculous prices, and oh my gosh, whenever that happened, I moaned all day about that one. The price of helium going up and why it was no longer worth getting out of bed in the morning. Morrison's or Card Factory stealing my customers. Another company getting in at a local venue. Customers messaging me saying, how much are your balloons? Any one of these things could start me off moaning and groaning. For me, it was just a way of letting off steam. For my loved ones, it sent alarm bells ringing. Not only could they see how hard I was working trying to get this business off the ground, but all they could see is how unhappy it made I seem to be. After all, if you're constantly moaning, that's how you come across, particularly if you don't share how happy you are when you hit goals and the good stuff. And I very rarely shared that with them. After all, in my mind, they wouldn't get it, would they? They don't run a business. And I felt a little silly sharing what was essentially little stuff in the big picture. So all they could see was the frustrations of running a business and not the good stuff. Not surprising they were asking me if it was really all worth it then, is it? And I guess we're all probably guilty of this at some point. So tell me, does this sound familiar to you? Are you listening and nodding your head and thinking, oh, that's me? Well, if it is, don't worry. I'm pretty sure it's most of us too. So what's the answer? Well, having run my business around my family from home for the last 8 years, I'm going to give you some key take homes for getting family on side so you can run a business and have a happy life. So, tip number 1, create a vision board and share it with your loved ones. Get a big board, fill it full of pictures of the life that you want to be living as a result of your business. Let them contribute to it too. After all, this is the life you're building together, not the life you're building for them. It's supposed to be for all of you. Then when times get tough and perhaps they're a bit fed up with your business, they'll be more likely to unite with you and support you in your business because they'll be working towards the same vision. Tip number 2, work out a way to minimize taking over the house. Build a shed, garage, hire storage, rent a relative's room, but try not to take over the house all of the time. Yes, there will be still days when it can't be helped, but if Monday to Thursday is a bit more manageable and you can all physically move around your home, it will really help, believe me. I have 2 sheds, I rent a room in a relative's house, but every Monday I clear my house of the majority of balloon equipment and it becomes a home again. Well, at least until Thursday evening, Friday morning. So tip number 3, manage your time carefully. Set your hours for working so you aren't working all the time and not being totally present with your family any of the time. I always make sure I am not working when my children come through the door from school. I like to spend at least 30 minutes to an hour being totally present with them, and I also try to not work after 8:30, 9 o'clock so I can spend some time with my partner. In the past, I have been guilty of working and answering messages all day long into the evening, sometimes even in bed. And very quickly they can become lonely, even if they're sitting on the seat beside you, because you're not interacting with them, the conversation's not happening, and they're just sitting there on the sidelines while you're working. Make sure you book regular time off in the diary for family time and make plans to do something together. If you work every weekend throughout the year and spend no time as a family, it will have an impact, a huge impact. Blank out dates in your diary where you won't work or where you will hire in help so that you don't have to work, and you can spend time enjoying the life you're creating with your loved ones. Book it well in advance and protect it. Otherwise, the months can easily slip past so quickly, and before you know it, another year's gone by. Tip 4, share the good stuff even if it seems little, and don't forget to thank your loved ones for their support. When they can see the business is working, doing well, and feel appreciated for their support, they will give more to you. Tip number 5, and this is the big one. Stop whinging and whining. Yes, I said that. Stop whinging and whining. Stop whining and moaning about the bad stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't get it off your chest, but you don't need to land it on the shoulders of your loved ones instead. It's important that you have somewhere to vent and not build things up, but look for a professional network to do this in. Whether it's a friend or an acquaintance who runs their own business or a balloon network forum, it's much better to do there. Not only will they understand where you're coming from, they'll give much better advice, and it won't weigh them down and make them worry about you. Or worse still, make them start to resent the fact you started this business in the first place. As always, I would love to know what you think of this video. How do you manage friends and family and getting their support? Do your friends and family work in the business with you? What challenges do you have and how do you overcome them? I'd also love to know if you've got any suggestions for other videos. If you have, leave a comment below and I'll add it to my list of videos that I'm creating. So I hope that helped, and it'll help you with some tips to get a much more harmonious business and family life. And until next time, stay amazing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Hey guys, I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and make sure you subscribe. On YouTube, you can click the bell, or on Facebook, you can like and follow the page to get notifications of new videos as they come out. Be sure to check out the free resource library on the Balloon Biz Academy. It's packed full of information to help you get the fundamentals right in your business and covers things like pricing, managing your helium supplies, marketing, all the things you need to get your business out there. so you can grow and scale your business. I'm on a mission this year to help 1,000 balloon business owners, and I sincerely hope you're one of them. So until next time, stay amazing and bye for now.